Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Aging Rewired by Senior Planet from AARP. I'm your host, Sheila Solomon, welcoming you to Season 2. It's been a while, but we're thrilled to reconnect with you. As we step into 2025, we're diving back into the topic that keeps all of us at Aging Rewired buzzing: technology and its incredible potential to enrich our lives as we age. In today's season premiere episode, we'll hear from Senior Planet participants across the country as they talk about the technology-related resolutions they're setting in 2025.
My goals for this year are, one, to get a new computer, and my other goal is to learn more about my smartwatch.
We'll also travel all the way to Las Vegas to report directly from the scene of the world's largest and buzziest tech conference, the Consumer Electronics Showcase.
So what have you seen at CES 2025 that's been exciting?
I saw the new Robo-Rock vacuum and mop for your home, and it actually has an arm that can extend from the robot and pick up objects in your home and go and place it in a basket.
But first, we're diving into some data. Brittne Kakulla, AARP Senior Research Manager, joins me in the studio, and we discuss the report on technology trends for older adults that AARP recently published.
Older adults are comfortable with technology, they're buying it, and they have needs and wants, and digital services and products are out there that could help them. Why alienate or ignore this population?
This is Aging Rewired. Let's hop right in. The recent report on technology trends that you wrote about older adults was so insightful. To start, could you share with our listeners what inspired the research and some of the key findings that stood out for you?
This research started out as let's check it out. And now it's a wow, look at what's happening here. Because, this research is really inspired by our commitment to understanding and supporting older adults and their many life transitions. We wanted to make sure that technology is meeting the diverse needs of an ever-changing population. So this 2025 Tech Trends version is actually the 9th wave of this research. So AARP has been looking at technology since 2016, and I've been part of this research since 2018. And, if we go back, those early reports, they provide a snapshot of tech use during a time of digital growth. So, things were just starting to take off technology-wise. But the driving force behind the research the way it is now was really the COVID-19 pandemic. The pandemic with its lockdowns and social distancing, it really reshaped how we live, how we work, how we entertain each other, and how we're connected. It added a new importance to this work. For many people during that time, technology became a lifeline, and providing tools to stay in touch with loved ones, how people could manage health remotely, maintaining some sort of normalcy during these unprecedented times was really important for us to understand and figure out how we could help. So, I went back to the 2016 report just like as a reflection. And, at that time in 2016, 55% of adults 50 plus owned a smartphone. So it's like, can you believe that? That, it kind of sounds crazy, right? Because today that number is 91%. So, more older adults and people in general have these devices compared to then, but how they're using technology, particularly these devices, is a big part of this story. So, things like streaming, video chat, and health tracking, these are things that are commonplace now, but back then, many of these things were like novel ideas. Just thinking about like in 2016, Netflix only had 6,000 videos. And now there's like 20 platforms out there with millions of content. And, right now, 88% of adults 50 plus are streaming content. In 2016, most people were still watching cable. So it's just like this idea of how technology has evolved from 2016 to 2025 is important to us to understand. And it reflects not just changes in technology, but changes in society and how technology has impacted our daily life.
I was pleasantly surprised when I saw that the report mentioned the nearly 2/3, as you've been talking to us about already, of older adults finding technology enriching their lives. Because I'm not exaggerating when I say it seems Like all I hear are complaints and fears. What are some of the specific technologies or devices people seem to be finding most beneficial?
The first thing I want to say is that technology is a tool. So, I want to point out that the technologies that are most beneficial, it's personal to the individual. Technology that meets their needs where they're at while enhancing their quality of life. And a big part of that is like where someone is in their journey of aging. Are they a caregiver? Are they experiencing an age-related physical decline? Are they a new grandparent? So all of these life stages matter because that impacts the type of technology that you need and that you want to incorporate into your life. Just adding that disclaimer there, let me just say that when it comes to tech, what's really important is convenience, safety, and peace of mind. These are things that everyone wants when we're talking about technology. One device that meets this is smart home devices. That really tops the list in meeting those needs. That includes technologies like smart lighting, smart locks, smart systems, security systems, voice-activated assistants. All of these types of technologies are relevant for older adults. Another data point that we talk about often is for this year, between now and 2030, 11,000 boomers will turn 65 every day. So if we think about those older consumers, smart homes and smart technology can help them remain independent in their homes as they age. Our research has consistently found that older adults want to age in their home and their community. So our most recent figure was that 3 in 4 actually want to age in place. So, smart home technology, I would say that's the first one that's beneficial. The next one that I would say, thinking about the realm of health, is fitness trackers and wearables. These devices are particularly beneficial to a lot of people. We're talking about trackers. It's not the old school, step pedometer. Devices now can do so many things. Like they can monitor vital signs, track sleep patterns, give biofeedback, and even support stress management. And, we're talking about wearables. That includes things like smart glasses and devices that can help with hearing. And, this is important because vision and hearing loss are typically some of the first age-related declines that older adults experience. So having access to this technology and that's available to them can help supplement those changes that are starting to happen on that journey for aging. Another beneficial technology, like it would be crazy for me not to say smartphones because they're nearly indispensable for communication and connection in life at this point. We found that most older adults actually have a relatively new phone. So 62% have purchased their phone in the last 2 years. So their phones are relatively new. They can do a lot with them. And, the phone enables interactions with the world, with our friends, our family, communities, and even our healthcare providers. So another device that's super beneficial. And then lastly, what's life without fun? I'm just going to say streaming services and digital media because they provide education and entertainment options for people. And, that's something out there for everyone.
What about gender or geographic or income demographics? What do you know about that as it pertains to this group and this technology?
In general, women purchase more, but men make larger purchases. So adoption levels are similar for everyone. We're talking about men versus women at the gender level, particularly for the top 6 devices that are at parity with everyone. There's almost a difference in how the technology is used when we're talking about gender. Last year's research, we found, communication was a difference. So women are more likely to use their devices for like video chat and text messaging, and men are using it for, watching sports and streaming content.
Were you suggesting or actually saying that men seem to spend more than women?
Yeah. So last year, we found that women purchased the smaller tech items more than men did. So like a Bluetooth headset, smartphone accessories, a wearable, these are things that women purchase. Men purchase more of the large ticket items. So the smart TV, the gaming system, the new laptop or desktop.
I see.
But that's last year. This year, everybody was cutting back. About 2 in 5 said that they did not make a tech purchase because of financial concerns.
I was going to ask about whatever financial constraints there may or may not be, especially in this age group.
For some older adults, cost can be a barrier when it comes to adopting technology. That's one of the concerns when we're talking about trying new tech. It's like they want something that's easy to use because, again, technology is a tool, and they don't want to pay a lot for it because what if it doesn't work for them?
And you mentioned health technology and how older adults are using technology more and more. How exactly is that showing up?
For most older adults, where we're seeing a lot of the adoption is the fitness tracker and wearables. That's because these devices can do so many different things, and there's so many different types of them. There are wearables that monitor vital signs, sleep patterns, activity levels. I mentioned earlier the hearables, so they can help with hearing. You've got smart glasses that can augment your vision, or you can, make what you're looking at bigger. So today, 38% of adults 50 plus have a wearable, but in 2016, it was just 11%. That's a dramatic increase if you think about it. And I think that shows the growing need and interest in this idea of personal health technology, like what's available that can help me. But I wanted to add that there's still room for improvement, particularly when it comes to adoption of these tools. One of the things that we found in the research is about 7 in 10 older adults have some type of chronic health condition. So that's diabetes, a high blood pressure, thing that requires like an ongoing management. But less than 20% are using technology to manage their condition. So like a continuous glucose monitor, something like that. In 2016, some of the health tech options that are available now that are mainstream was like, it's a novel idea. Like, oh, you're going to use your phone to do that? So now there's all these tools available and these resources, but the adoption is not grown the way we would expect it given what's available.
And what about the connection to caregiving? What are you seeing there?
What's interesting when we're talking about caregiving is that older adults and younger adults have caregiving at about the same rate. It's about 1 in 4. For this year, it was 27% of 50 plus have been a caregiver in the last year. And younger caregivers are more interested in using technology for their caregiving duties, but older caregivers are also adopting tech for some of their caregiving needs. Things like food delivery, grocery delivery, telemedicine, managing doctor's appointments, electronic pill dispensers. So these are all resources that are available to help older adults with caregiving, their needs. Again, it's like these resources are available and you would think that adoption would be higher than what it is, but it's still not, I would say, where we would think it would be given what's available. So there's still some type of gap or disconnect when we're talking about technology for caregivers.
We wanted to take a quick break from the interview to talk about technology resolutions for 2025. With the start of a new year comes fresh possibilities. That's why every year at Senior Planet, we encourage community members to think about how they hope to change their relationship to technology. Do they want to master a new AI tool? Maybe finally buy that smartwatch they've been thinking about getting. Or maybe they're just eager to explore a new curiosity. We ask Senior Planet participants to call in and let us know what their tech resolutions are for 2025. Here's what they had to say.
I'm hoping to take my AI skills up a notch. Right now, I'm pretty familiar with using AI just for basic research questions and things like that. I'd like to start incorporating more images and things like that. That's my hope for 2025.
I'd like to be able to take photos from my phone and be able to move them to the computer and then move them to a website. And I haven't really figured out how to do that yet. I can take a picture and get it on my phone, but I'm not sure how to get it onto my computer so I can use it to upload to other things.
My goals for this year are one, to get a new computer. And my other goal is to learn more about my smartwatch.
My computer goals this year would be to just learn more about everything related to a computer.
Last year and a little bit of the previous year, I participated in projects in the development of AI. And I'd like to do more of that as far as an end user, because it's really neat to see, how it works and so forth. So like I say, I'd like to be involved in the process of improving it.
Thank you to everyone who shared their tech resolutions with us. If you're also interested in diving into the world of artificial intelligence like some of our callers, visit seniorplanet.org/AI to explore free classes and resources, including an AI guidebook for older adults. And now let's get back to the rest of our discussion with Brittne Kakulla from AARP. Something else the report shows is that a lot of adults also don't think, in spite of what we just heard you talking about, that technology is really designed with their age in mind. The sentiment seems down slightly, but it's still there. And again, my own personal encounters with people who I know, I hear that a lot. What is it you think they're saying?
At AARP, one of the things when we're talking about, like, what do we want people to do with this research? We want brands to look at it to know that, like, hey, older adults are out there and you should design for them. And part of that, when you're designing products and services, is making it age-friendly with inclusivity in mind. So technology being designed for them in mind means thinking about their needs and their wants. So including older adults in the full scale of design process. We released earlier this year a primer on age-friendly app development. And, the audience for that was app developers, but really, the recommendations are for anyone. So things like a voice-controlled interface. So don't make everything touch, allow people to use their voice because sometimes the buttons are really small. A larger text option or simpler navigations, things like that. Those are things that signal that brands have thought about someone else using that technology. And an older adult, some of the limitations that they might have could be related to age or cognitive or physical age-related decline. So that idea of, one, is this product easy for someone like me to use? And then another part of that is, can I see myself in the product? A big part of my job is just like this idea of myth-busting stereotypes, because, it's amazing how many times you'll see like the stereotypical quote unquote old person, or it's, someone with gray hair and they don't know how to use technology and they're frail. And it's like, that's not the case at all anymore. Older adults are comfortable with technology. They're buying it because, they've got the buying power and they have needs and wants, and digital services and products are out there that could help them. So it's like, why alienate or ignore this population?
It also seems natural that as our communities are aging, that because technology has been part of our lives now for so long, that some of this is just going to naturally melt away and there'll be what? Okay, no.
Well, no, I mean, I think that there needs to be a conscious effort for digital literacy education. Just because the technology is out there, you want people to be able to use it to its fullest. So in the research, we asked if people felt that they have the digital literacy skills to take full advantage of being online. And 2 and 3 said yes, but that still leaves like 1/3 who said no. And when we looked at that by age, so adults in their 50s, it's in the 70s who said, yeah, I have all the digital literacy skills. But in that 80 plus group, that drops to the 40s. So we can't just assume that, if we put the technology out there, people will figure it out. The new thing is AI. It's amazing to me, like how many AI images I see online and people think that that's real. That's another place, digital literacy. We need more discernment and understanding what is an AI image versus what is not AI generated. I think that goes together. I think we shouldn't just assume that people will eventually get it.
Speaking of that, it makes me think of the Consumer Electronics Show coming up in Las Vegas. I haven't been, but I've heard a lot about it, and I know there are cool technology products that are going to be on display. So anything you're excited to check out that you've heard? is likely to be exhibited there, or people who you're excited to meet up with and talk to them about some of the issues we're talking about now?
I want to see some of this smart home technology. So last year, I heard about toilets that are diagnostic. Like, I want to see some of that stuff. Some of these new wearables, mattresses that track your sleep and they can tell you how you're sleeping. Like, I'm really interested in some of that smart home tech.
How
The
would
toilet.
yes. Yeah,
That shocked you.
it did.
Yeah, but it's interesting. The deposit that you put in there, it's diagnosing it, checking for nutrient deficiencies, chronic health conditions, glucose levels, things like that.
Well, smart. Assuming there are older people in your life, how would you or do you guide them regarding purchases and use of tech products?
For purchase, it really goes to like, what's the need? What are you going to do with that? Cost is a factor too. Just because there's something that is expensive, depending on the product, there might be a different price point that makes it more accessible. Also, who else is going to use it? So intergenerational aspects of technology, I think that's something that, we haven't looked at that a lot, but I think that's another potential opportunity. So I also do gaming research. And in the gaming space, for older adults, most of them, when they game, they play by themselves. But the ones who do play with others, the one who they play with is children and grandchildren. So there's this intergenerational aspect of wanting to connect, and the game is a way they connect with that younger generation.
Did you hear about the Apple Watch next year that may have satellite texting and blood pressure monitoring?
Oh, no, I didn't. That sounds cool.
I think I just heard about it last week, as a matter of fact, but I did, before we got started, double check online to make certain I didn't mishear. I thought that sounded really cool. I'm a person who has been wearing an Apple Watch for a while. I love it. And one of the things I love about it is that I can leave my house when I just want to take a walk, knowing that I can still make a call or get a call, and I don't have to take anything else with me, and I can pay for something if I happen to be out without a wallet or anything. And thinking of being older, perhaps something happens to you, and who do you contact? Well, if you got this satellite texting, now, even if something different happened to your old Apple Watch with this new one, now you can still get in touch with someone. And I thought that was very exciting.
And I think that also signals on two things that are important to older adults. Independence was one of them. So it allows them to maintain their independence. And then ease of use, like that sounds super easy. If you're out and about, you could still send a text. Like it doesn't require you to open an app or to carry your phone to do something else. That sounds like a great use case.
Well, Brittne, we're looking forward to seeing what you find as you dig further into the data in 2025. And have fun at CES.
Oh, thank you.
For this final part of today's show, we wanted to transport our listeners to the heart of one of the largest tech conferences in the world. Every year, tens of thousands of techies flood Las Vegas to attend the Consumer Electronics Show to get a sneak peek at the cutting-edge technology of tomorrow. Aging Rewired producer Connor Whitley was on the ground to talk to attendees about what tech they were excited to see and how technology can be used to change the way we age. Take a listen.
We're here at CES, the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas, Nevada. CES is an annual trade show that showcases the latest in technology products, and let me tell you, this year, 2025, it did not disappoint. We're seeing all kinds of companies from around the world here on the show floor demonstrating cutting-edge innovations. So let's go take a walk around and see if we can't speak with a few attendees about the tech they're seeing and what they're finding to be most exciting.
Hey, my name is Brett Bristow. I'm from Orem, Utah. Tech with Brett is my YouTube channel where I talk about all things tech. I cover everything from smart home to robot lawnmower.
So what have you seen at CES 2025 that's been exciting?
So speaking of robots, I saw the new Roborock vacuum and mop for your home, and it actually has an arm that can extend from the robot and pick up objects in your home and go and place it in a basket so that there's nothing on the floor and it can continue to clean without any obstructions or getting stuck or anything like that.
That's awesome. And is that something you think that you would ever purchase for yourself, or you're just excited to see it being developed?
I have 4 kids, and there is stuff all over the floor, so it takes me extra time to clean up before we can even clean the floor. So yes, 100% something I need in my home.
Thank you so much, Brett. Nice to meet you.
Welcome.
One of the great things about CES is you never know what you're going to find from one booth to the next. While exploring the show floor, I stumbled upon a really neat vehicle called a Zoox. It's a self-driving, fully electric taxi. And at the Zoox booth, they actually had one of their vehicles there. So I climbed in to take a look and ended up catching up with another CES attendee. What have you seen at CES 2025 that's been exciting so far?
I think my favorite thing was the clear LG TV, which still blows my mind a little bit. I don't understand how that works or really why you need it, but I love it.
I don't know what the price was on that, but are there things here that you think you could afford? Not you individually, but are you seeing things that are realistic for consumers to buy?
Yeah, I think so. A lot of the smart home stuff, the home security and like home monitoring, kind of energy efficiency monitoring kind of things that feels very real and attainable. Yeah, I don't think I'd buy the clear TV, but I would buy, that like outside security camera or the bird feeder with the camera in it. That's always fun.
Oh yeah, that was a cool one. Are you seeing any big trends?
There's a lot of AI being marketed. I think everybody's building it into everything. I do wonder how effectively some of that is being used or if it's more marketing, but there's just so much. It's like a little bit of everything. I bet you can find literally anything related to technology somewhere at this show.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Harry. That's it from the show floor at CES 2025. If you'd like to learn more and meet some of the companies and vendors that we talked to, head over to the Senior Planet YouTube channel and check out our playlist, Senior Planet at CES 2025.
Thank you for listening to Aging Rewired, a podcast by Senior Planet from AARP. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends and family. If you'd like to learn more about Senior Planet's free technology classes, resources, and online community, visit www.seniorplanet.org or call our toll-free hotline at 888-713-3495. Until next time, I'm Sheila Solomon, and this is Aging Rewired.